Hey everyone, welcome to 2 Car Pros. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to show you exactly how to change the rear brakes for a 2015 Ford Edge. So this is a little bit more of an involved procedure, but I know you can do it in your garage at home. You do need a couple of special tools, and I will leave the links to those down below in the description. This procedure is not too bad, and it will save you a ton of money over taking it to the dealer or even a regular mechanic. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. So before we get started, I am in the driver's seat, and we can see we need to deactivate the electronic parking brake. If you don't do this, you potentially risk pinching your fingers and causing some serious damage. So here are the instructions. I would show them in real time, but you do need both hands. So you can pause the video and read these at your leisure. And once the system is deactivated, you can move on to the next step. If you've done it successfully, it'll look like this. Park brake in maintenance mode. That's what you want. Do not continue until you see that message. So the first thing we need to do in removing our brake pads is we need to remove this spring. It can boing into your eyes, so be careful. We can just pry that off with a standard screwdriver. There we go. And what I want you to do with this spring is throw it directly into the trash. So on the back side of the caliper, there are these dust covers for the slide bolts that need to be removed. There's one for the lower and one for the upper. I have you focused on the lower currently. So standard screwdriver, we can just get those dust covers off of there. Do that for both of them. And that'll expose our fasteners for our slide bolts. So on this fastener, it is a 7 Allen. Fits on there just nice. We'll grab our socket wrench. And we can remove that bad boy. There we go. Just gonna remove that slide bolt inside of the side. And the top slide bolt is exactly the same. So once you've released all the threads, you can keep loosening it, nothing happens. And it's kind of tricky to push, but you can grab in the middle like that, or you can grab a small, slender instrument and just push it through. So once those two are removed, we can go ahead and walk our rear brake caliper off. Oop, brake pad's already fallen out. That's okay. And we're gonna take the caliper and we're just gonna set it in such a way maybe something like that. We're going to set it in such a way that it's not hanging by the brake line. Well, these rear brake pads are totally toast. Well, it's a good thing we're doing this. So next thing we can do is take a 15mm socket and remove the two bolts that hold the caliper mounting bracket. Those are usually on pretty tight, so don't be surprised if they fight you. There we go. Then we can remove our caliper mounting bracket and set that aside. So now we can carefully remove our rotor. Make sure you don't drop it on your foot. These are like foot-seeking missiles. And sometimes they're a little stuck on. If they are stuck on, go ahead and put the lug nuts back on, and then you can strike with a nice good-sized hammer right here around until it kind of shocks the corrosion and rust away. You can even heat this surface up with like a torch to really, if it's like really stuck, but I've found most of the time if you just kind of wiggle it back and forth with some gusto, you should be good to go. And you can just toss that rotor in the trash. That one's junk. We're gonna have to bust out our universal brake caliper tool, and it has these little dies in there that fit on these tangs, and sometimes when a brake system like this is already bottomed out, you need to rotate it as you are pushing, because we got a little bit of movement, but we're not there all the way yet. So we can just grab the fitting, which this one seems pretty good. Try a smaller one, see if that one will fit. And it doesn't. So number 3 is the one I will be using today. So we'll go on like that. and then we can get the tool itself. Grab the tool and wind it all the way out. Like that. And then you can see it's cut, so it goes like this down into it. So we can put that in place. We put that in place and then line it up on those little tangs on the piston itself. While we wind this tool out. There we go. So we can grab a big 1.25" wrench and slide it over this part of the tool, and then a 14mm wrench on this side of the tool, and then we can just rotate it. It has that clockwork system, so it needs to be rotated as it's pressed back into its home, and you can see that retraction happening. Oops, slipped off. That's okay. We'll just readjust. If that does happen, don't try to like force it. You really want these tangs to be lined up in their home, so that way the tool works and you don't damage the caliper. So you don't damage the piston. You really want that in its home. Yeah, like that. It's okay if it takes a little bit. It shouldn't fight you super hard though. This should be relatively easy to turn until it is all the way back in its home. And then once it is done being retracted, it'll just stop. And once it stops, don't push it any further. It's already in its home. It doesn't need anything additionally. So when I tightened it all the way so it is nice and flat, you can see that this surface is even with this surface. That's really what you want. But you might notice that we are not straight up and down. These two tangs aren't straight up and down, and they actually have to be. And if you try turning it any more, it won't go. It is fully retracted. There is no more turns you can get out of it. So grab a pair of needle nose, and we're just gonna gently, slowly turn that until these tangs are facing straight up and down. See how they're nice and up and down? That's how you want them, so that way the new pads will interface with it. So here's our brake pad mounting bracket we removed earlier. Now, what's interesting about this is usually on disc brake setups, they have like a sliding surface that you replace as like little like metal pieces that are nice and low friction, but this system does not have that. Instead, the repair directions say to just clean these with brake clean. Like that, and they are ready to be replaced. So do that for this side and this side. So the next thing we can do is take our nice shiny brand new rotor and replace that. Perfect fit. So the next thing we can do is reinstall our brake pad bracket, and it only goes on the one way. What you can do is hold the rotor straight up and down like that against its mounting surface. Put the bracket in its place. And replace our bolts. Top one's in. Bottom one's in. And these are 15 millimeters. And they were on pretty darn tight when we got to them. Just do your best to tighten them evenly. Go ahead and give this a 2-arm tightening. If I find a torque spec for you, I will leave it on screen. Pretty tight. So now we can replace our brake pads. And again, we're going to hold our, this is especially going to be helpful when we're putting our caliper on. Hold the rotor to its mounting flange. Now, When you open your brake pads, they're going to look like this. One of them is going to have this spring bit arrangement, and the spring bit always goes inboard, facing towards the caliper, so depending on whatever side you're working on. So we can load that up on the inboard side. And then of course the non-spring one goes on the outboard side, and they just slot into place like that. So it should look like this. You can pinch them in place to make sure there is no clearance while you have the rotor held against its mounting surface like I do. And this is ready for our caliper. So now we can hold our rotor against there, grab our caliper, and put that back into its home, making sure the tangs line up. That looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and grab one of our slide bolts that I have already clean and slightly lubricated. You don't need a ton of lube or anything, just a little bit's good. Grab that Allen and at least start the bolts so that way our caliper can't fall off on us. Yeah, it looks great. So let me go ahead and replace our bottom bolt. And if the threads aren't lining up, just go ahead and jiggle them a little bit, and they will. Snug that up. Then we can torque these to the factory spec of 21 foot-pounds, or one arm tight is sufficient. There we go. And then we can replace our dust caps. Excellent. So then we can take our new spring from our brake kit and install it like so. There you go. Okay, so now that both of our rear brakes have been changed and are brand new, we need to deactivate our maintenance procedure, and this is how you do it. Set the ignition to on, press and hold the accelerator pedal, and place the APB switch in the upward position. Continue to hold the accelerator pedal and the EPB switch. Set the ignition off, and then set the ignition on within 5 seconds. Continue to hold the accelerator pedal and the EBP switch, and then release the accelerator and EBP switch. There's the instructions in case you just want to pause the video and look at them. So I'm going to do that real fast. Again, I can't really hold the camera and do this since I need both hands. Okay, our message is gone, and you can see in the bottom right that kind of looks like a lightning bolt right there. That is off as well. So what I'm going to do is actuate the parking brake a few times. And then push the brake and the switch. Very good. So that will seat the emergency brake. So that'll seat the rear pads so they're very close to gripping the rotor, which is what we want. And then what I'm going to do too, as a precaution, I'm just going to depress the brake pedal slowly and very firmly all the way down to its travel, and then let it come back up until it comes all the way back up on its travel, just to make sure I have a very firm pedal, which I do. This feels absolutely amazing. So there you go. Now, before you go taking the thing out for a drive, let's go ahead and discuss how to break in your brakes. Brakes do require a break-in procedure because you have two machine surfaces that may not agree with each other at a very, very fine level. So you have to break them in, and the way you do that is you take it out for a drive, you go about maybe 10 miles an hour around your neighborhood or something, make sure you're doing this very safely, and then push the brakes slightly and let off. And then accelerate back to like maybe 10 miles an hour and push on the brake slightly and let off. And what you're doing is you're taking those burrs off of those machine surfaces, because if you don't do that, your brakes can actually not function or function very poorly. They'll end up with like a glaze on top of there and it won't work right. So make sure you break in your brakes properly like I've just discussed. So that is how to replace the rear brakes on a 2015 Ford Edge. It's not too bad. You do need those special tools like I showed, but other than that, it is totally doable, and you could totally do this in your garage at home, saving you tons and tons of money. Thank you so very much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you next time.